Hey, this is Alex, and I'm here with Rajesh Gupta. Did I say your name correctly, Rajesh?
Yeah, absolutely. It is correct.
Wow, I managed to do it. He owns a software development company in India. I actually used to work with him for about half a year. Sent him a lot of messages to his phone. If
Yeah.
so, he right now his company's it grew to $5 million. He has 300 people working for him, and we're gonna talk about how he built his company from scratch over the last 15 years. Because yeah, he used to have a job at a corporation and he quit that. So tell us what happened, Rajesh.
Well, I started my career way back in 1995 with a telecom joint. So worked there for almost 5 years, and after that, my marriage. I actually was looking to start a company
Yeah.
to do something which nobody has done in my family.
Mhm.
So we started. I started a company called Nethues in 2000. So it was a one-man company which we started from my bedroom actually.
Yeah.
On a 486 computer. Right now we are 300 people working on different technologies. So the journey has been good, has been up and down journey. The first customer I still remember came to us through an email marketing campaign. At that time we ran.
Mhm.
At that time, I remember 2000. In fact, a domain hosting company was a very big stuff. A web hosting company providing domains. There were very less companies providing domain hosting. So we knew the technology, so we actually started contacting few people. Those were the web hosting companies, but they didn't know how to actually host the domain or book the domain. So we actually started contacting them, and we did few projects, and the rest is the history. So the rest is the history in the terms that those were the few projects we did with them, and they actually referred us to a lot of people. And
Mhm.
currently, and word of mouth is still our biggest advantage because the kind of service we provide, and we always believe that we should stick to the customer whether the time is good or bad,
Mhm.
and I think that paid off. We are very fortunate to have so many clients. Those have worked with us from last 10 years, 12 years, and we have in fact a lot of employees also in our company which are like working with us from last 10, 12 years.
Mhm.
So that actually fueled the growth, and that is how the things have moved till now.
Mhm. So yeah, Rajesh, you actually told me a story of how something like 40% of your clients you got them when back then, like when they were really small, and you grew with them to have them. Now they're still your customer, but they rely on your company for most of their services. Is that right?
Yes, right, Alex. This is absolutely right. Those are the customers when we started working them. They were very small and their requirement were very small.
Mhm.
But we kept working together. Some of them I've been working for in last 13, 14 years right now. And they went very big as the time, and they required more and more services as they grew, and that actually fueled our growth also, because when they required a resource or when they required some programming or when they required any kind of support services, we were there to actually help them out. So the guy who started with just one guy, and if he hired 10 guys now, so that actually made him big, that
Mhm.
actually made us also big.
Okay, so for your current lead generation, so how you get more clients right now, because you don't just work with old clients, obviously 60% of your revenue comes from new clients. So how do you get them? How does this lead generation funnel work for you right now?
We are working with three different perspectives right now for lead generation. One is inbound inquiries we get
Mhm.
through our website, which actually happens through different search engine optimization or PPC or social media campaigns, where people come to our website and fill in our inquiry form, and then our sales team get in touch with them. Second is some business to business portals where
Mhm.
people go and post the project that they require a project, and our
Like Odesk and
like Elance, Odes, Guru, and all that stuff. And our sales team or our business development team actually replies to those
Mhm.
queries, and this is how the business is done. And third is there's a calling team which actually generates warm leads through converting cold calls into the warm leads.
Mhm.
They call different perspective in different parts of the world, and they try to see if there is a requirement of software development. And if somebody is interested, then we actually get connected, and that is how. And once the sales team actually matures the lead, it passes to our business analyst team, then the implementation team, then the QA team. It's a whole process once the project starts, and when it ends, it's like 4 to 5 teams gets involved in that. So that is how it's working right now.
So for the list generation, what do your teams use to generate that list of leads? Because they input them into your well, it's not an Excel sheet. You use a CRM system, but how do they get them? Like, where do they find them exactly, and how do they put them in there?
We have a good data harvesting team at our office. So, and we use CRM. Actually, we build it ourselves as per our requirements. So, it's a team of 8 people. Those keep harvesting the data from different parts of the internet, from Google or LinkedIn or any possible data you can find. So they harvest the data, they put in the CRM. That those CRM data has been divided to our sales team and different sales team. That those particular sales team actually work on those late data by calling or by emailing, whichever way they feel that will be the best to approach the customer, and that is how those data is utilized and ultimately turn into sales.
Rajesh is actually working with clients from all over the world. He's working with clients from Europe, from the United States, etc. So there's a misconception that if you outsource to India, is just cheap labor and stuff like that. But actually, India is a capital in terms one of the world's capitals in terms of development, like software development. So can you tell us a little bit about that, Rajesh?
Well, yes, I would say India is international capital for software development. India is not only about cheap labor, because probably the reason was right when the outsourcing or offshoring started, but now it's other way around. When you are looking for technology and you are looking for skill, availability of skill, you actually have to look at different avenues. And India, fortunately, being there is a lot of cluster of engineering college, because Indian parents actually focus a lot on the education of their kid. Most of the people you will find in India, those are educated, very well educated, they have done their engineering or a marketing degree. So that actually gives a lot of available pool for the skill and a good skill. So it's right that it is not expensive, as expensive like in Western Europe or United States. You still save a lot of cost, more than 50% still you can save if you actually outsource to India. But it's all about skill also. That kind of skills probably you will not find in United States, you'll still get it in India, because the reason is simple. You have a lot of educated manpower available here, and which can be trained as per the requirement. And that we have actually seen in the past, where a certain client came with a certain technology which was just introduced a month ago, and he wanted to have 10 people working on the same technology. And I asked him that if he can actually allow me 2 months, we can train 10 people on the same technology and we can actually give it to you. He agreed to that, and that was a fantastic project to do. So that is the way we came to know a point that India is not only about cheap labor, it's about the skill also.
So when someone is looking for companies to outsource to in India and maybe other countries, what would you recommend to someone? Like, what do your most successful clients do that others may not do?
I would recommend, whenever an outsourcing is supposed to happen, we should be talking to the client, and the client should be talking to the vendor also a lot. They should be screening the vendor a lot. At the same time, they should be patient also, because definitely what I have came across over the time period of last 15 years, the culture is quite different in US and in India. But now, since there are a lot of Indians are there in United States and Western world, so even most of the client we come across are aware about our own culture also. So that has helped, and we Indians also has actually matured a lot as per the Western culture. And Indians by nature are very tolerant people, very, very hospitable people. They believe in, there's a saying in our culture that customer is God. So we follow that, and we try our best actually to actually serve the customer. But there are still Few jerks in the industry, those actually try to rip off the customer by promising a lot and not delivering it. In fact, they bring a lot of bad name to the industry. And I've come across few people, those actually have just to save few dollars, they actually have fallen into the trap where the guy promised everything and delivered nothing. So whenever you're, it all depends what is important actually for the client. If you are actually interested in having a good project done, you should be approaching a good company with a good structure. If you want to save money and you are just testing an idea, you can actually hire anyone if you want to test an idea. But actually hiring a full structured company will definitely help you in overall business, because these guys will give you more ideas also, because they are doing this kind of stuff from so many years. Whereas a newbie or a freelancer probably working alone will not be able to give you so many ideas. He'll just follow you. He will not do discussions with you. So, and a loyalty for vendors, I would say loyalty is one thing you should always follow. You should be loyal to the customer. You should be very, very honest. Tell him what is right, tell him what is wrong, and if there is a problem, tell him upfront. Don't try to hide the problem. If you try to hide the problem, problem will go bigger. It is better to discuss the problem with your client and solve it mutually, because it is in your interest, it is in client's interest to actually make the project happen and make the project working so that the sales can start. So it's all about working together and getting the stuff done. That is what I can say. That's
Okay, and what kind of deals should people like? What kind of contract should people make with a outsource company? So when they come to you, what kind of contracts are best for everyone, basically?
the kind of contracts I have come across, I would say rather is best, are the contracts where you cannot disclose the information about the product, because when you are actually like my company is dealing with a lot of customers. We actually are virtually running a lot of businesses online, but we cannot share the idea. We cannot share the insights how the business is running, and that is one thing one should follow. So the contract should have these kind of clauses in it where the vendor cannot share that idea, cannot share that kind of information to someone else for their own good. So that kind of clauses should be there and should be drafted carefully, because if you have a vendor which is good, which is loyal, which is honest, things are, you are in safe hand. But if you have a vendor who actually have a naughty mind and can do things which you do not like to do, you should be safe on a contract side. It should be a very, very strong contract.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned before that you're making deals also for a significant amount of money. How do you get the really big clients? Like, what is the sales process with the really big clients? Because I mean, okay, you get the lead, and you get them on a call, but what do you guys do to close like a $10,000 project like you sometimes do?
Different clients have different kind of expectations. Few clients will come just to outsource to India or to us to save money. Few clients will come to us to save money and have a project done, and few clients will come just for the quality. So you just have to judge what the client is looking at. So if you know what the client is looking at, because there has been instances where when the sales team is not able to close the deal, and they come to me that they are actually facing a difficulty, and I spoke to the client, I was able to determine whether client is looking for a real good project or he's there just to save some money, and how serious the client is about the business. So when you actually are talking to the client, you should be associating yourself with their project. You shouldn't be acting as a vendor. You should try to understand the business model completely so that you can suggest him, because one need to understand the client who is coming to you is not a technology chap. He is almost zero in front of us in technology, but they have an idea, they have a business idea, and we need to understand that business idea and suggest him the best possible solution and tell him the truth that these are the pros and these are the cons of this idea. See, choosing a technology, every technology is not perfect for every business idea. Every technology has its pros, every technology has its cons. But you have to be upfront and you have to be very, very honest. I would say honesty plays a very big role. If you are actually honest with your client and tell them what is going to happen and how it is going to happen, I mean, you can win the confidence of the client, a new client also very easily. But if you try to play smart And if you try to say that I'm big and I know so much, you don't know anything, I don't think this is gonna work. At least not for me.
Okay, makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. um, okay, so thank you, Rajesh. That's very useful information for anyone looking to like outsource to India, looking for a reliable outsource company. Because I used to work with Rajesh, I know he delivers. So how would they be able to reach you?
Well, that's very nice to ask for you to ask Alex this. They can just reach to our website. They can just Google Nethues. I'll just spell it out: Nethues, and they can just send us an email on our website, and someone will be in touch. For your information, we are a 24/7 operational company. We never sleep. We work 365 days a year, and when I say it, I mean it. We are round the clock operational. We never sleep.
Yeah, I've specifically tested this out, and it's true. So yeah, thank you. And if you like more free videos on how to build a business, how to do sales and generate leads, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you. See you next time.